Okay everyone, so here we have two pieces of this fabric and we have two pieces of this fabric. To make the fitted masks you need four pieces. I'm just doing different fabrics just because that's what I want to do. So again, I'm only putting the interfacing, which I already cut out using the pattern that I showed you. Again, it's free on my shop. You guys can go check it out there. You just download it. It's totally free. If you have any issues, please let me know. So you're going to put the interfacing on one side. I normally put it on the side where you're going to wear the masks. And this is the wire that I showed you guys in the beginning. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to roll the end. And this, again, I got this out of my jewelry making supplies. You're just going to roll this over. And do the same with the other end. So that's what you have. Just set that aside for now. So we're going to iron the interfacing on these two pieces. Again, you're going to iron it on the wrong side of the fabric. Okay, so we have the interfacing on. So now what we're going to do is sew the curve. So we're just going to sew from here up to here, and the same on this one, just sew here to here. Straight stitch. Now that we have the curve sewn, what I'm going to show you, you want to make some slits. This just makes it easier to turn inward or to iron flat. But anytime you have anything on the curve that you sew on the curve, you want to make small slits. Make sure you don't cut your seam. What I'm going to do is just iron that to the side. So I'm going to iron this flat down on both pieces. Okay, so let's put this thing together. So now you're going to do pretty much the same thing with the elastic that you did with the other one. These are cut at 5 inches, just like the other one. And you're still going to leave an opening to turn this right side out, just like you did with the other mask. Okay, so here we have it all pinned. We're just going to take a straight stitch and go all the way around. Make sure you still leave an opening so you can turn this right side out when you're done. Once we have this sewn, we will put the adjustable nose piece on here, and then we'll turn it right side out. Back stitch. Now we are going to place our adjustable nose piece on here. I'm going to try to center this as much as possible. And you'll still have time to do that before you sew the casing for it, and you'll see what I mean. So this is actually really tricky to try to keep in place while you're sewing. I take my needle and I kind of slant it just to keep it in place so I can sew it. Now we're going to do a zigzag stitch for this. Be very careful because you don't want to break your sewing needle. Okay, so now we're just going to do a zigzag stitch all the way around. Well, not all the way around. So again, we're going to do a zigzag stitch around the wire. I have my zigzag set to 5 as the length, and I have it at 2. I'm sorry, 5 as the width and 2 as the length. Back stitch. You want to pay close attention how your needle is going and making sure it doesn't stab into the wire. Okay, so as you can see, the little wire piece is in there. So now we're going to turn this right side out. Okay, so now that you have it right side out, the same rules apply. You're going to fold these in here where you left the opening. And you're going to iron this down. And then you're going to sew all the way around. Again, being careful where your wire is, making sure when you sew, you're sewing up underneath the wire, and this will leave a casing for it. And that way you won't have to worry about it sliding out and out of position, and it will still be there just secure around your nose. Make sure you have your sewing machine back on straight stitch. Unless, of course, you want a zigzag stitch on yours, that's fine. But I want a straight stitch. Always secure your stitch. I'm going to fill out for my little wire here. So we are all finished. This is what the masks look like. I will try to insert a picture of me wearing them so you see how they look on. But this is what they look like. It takes absolutely no time to make these once you get into it. This one can actually be reversible if you want, considering the way I did the fabric. And the adjustable nose piece will stay in place. If you have any questions about the masks that I've made today, again, if you're making them for a child, just adjust the pattern. In my pattern that I've made, you can just tap on the corner and adjust it in just to make it slightly smaller for kids. And I gave you the measurement for kids for these. This is what I use. You use what works for you. I had to adjust mine because my 2 youngest kids' face is really small. So the measurements that I initially had for children was way too big for them, so I had to adjust it down quite a bit. So here we have it, guys. These are really simple, really easy. You can make them for your family. There are a lot of healthcare workers that are in need, so you can make these for your local hospitals. It's really simple. Like I said, I have fat quarter of fabric laying around the house. I always have some kind of cotton extra scrap fabric laying around the house, so this is nothing for me to help out in this time of need. And again, I use fusible interfacing. Again, I will try to remember to leave the link below for Amazon where I got it, because I know Joann Fabrics is sold out. I don't know if if you guys are near Hobby Lobby or maybe Michael's or somewhere where they sell the Heat and Bond, you can find it. But I also hear that coffee filters work just as well. So that is it for today's tutorials. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me any questions. Share your photos with me. Again, this particular pattern will be available on my website for free, so you could just download that and adjust it as needed. And yeah, so thank you. Make sure you give my video a big old thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed if you are not already. Also, make sure you have your bell notifications turned on so you get notified every time I upload a video. And if you like to follow me on social media, all of that is linked in the description. And until next time, bye!